All right, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahushai, Kal Palau Yahweh Yahushai, Bachin Hawakakadach. Double honor to the elder apostle, a great minister who will, and their citation to the oxen of preaching the truth, across the four corners of the earth, through the fear and power of Yahweh Yahushai, of the hope of elect. Citation to the Israelite foreigner that scattered among the nation that believe in the name of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai. Shalom to the sisters and family tuning to this gospel preached around the whole world. Peace and mercy unto you, and who the world inwardly called God, his name is Yahweh, and who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahushai. There were the Hebrew Israelite that consists of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and those who line descendants go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel due to the scattering amongst the nation. Alright, it's going to be on FOPE, Israelite schools. There's an Israelite group out there in D.C. that totally go off on many doctrines that they are not breaking down correctly. Alright, and that's why we honestly say that great millstone, alright, starting with the elder apostles, alright, have 100% truth. Alright, it's why. Because these guys are breaking down scripture wrong, completely wrong. Alright. You're going to get into what the fourth beast briefly with the little horn. Because they think the little horn is the Roman Catholic Church. And that's completely off. Alright. That is completely off. Alright. They're going to get into it real quick. Okay. Go to the scripture, actually. Daniel 7 and 7. We could start at 7. Like after this, I saw the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. It had great iron teeth. It devoured and break, it devoured and break in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And that's talking about, it's for beast, actually talking about the Roman Empire, okay? You can see in the screen, during that ancient time, back then, alright, you had all these different heads, the 10 heads. Alright, I forgot their ancient name. I know you had like the Visigoth, the Frank, and whatnot. So you have the Greek, the British, Germania Minor, the Spanish, the French, the Roman, Germania Major. Alright, those are the 10 heads, okay? I considered the horn, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horn plucked up by the root, and behold, in his horn were eyes like the eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things. That's talking about America, alright? How America government, alright? We go to Revelation. Alright, Revelation 13. And 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. That's talking about America, the government, alright? The Republican and the Democrat, the 2 horns, okay? And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. And the first beast before him is talking about the Roman Empire, okay? Or we read in Daniel 7, alright? But the Roman Empire came back into power now, which is the NATO EU, which the next chapter we're going to talk about, or we'll continue to read. That's right there. He exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose daily wound was healed. So the first beast daily wound was healed, and that's talking about the Roman Empire. And now its wounded head is now the NATO of the EU. All right, you had the it's too small to blow it up. But basically, the EU was formed via the Treaty of Rome, or the ETC, the European Economic Community or Community Council. All right, in 1948 or 7, I believe. Okay, you can Google it to get the correct year. All right, and through that, that's how all these nations fall under the NATO of the EU. All right, because you go to Revelation 17, these other nations are given a power unto the for 1 hour. It's Revelation 17 and 11. All right, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, is of the 7th. All right, and that's what it's talking about in Daniel 7 and 8, the little horn coming up out of another. All right, because the 8th horn, all right, the 8 is of the 7th. It's like it, yeah, the 8 came out of the 7, which is the Great Britain. All right, which is one of the head you see in the British. All right, UK, Ireland. All right, mainly the UK. So that's what this little horn came up out of. All right, the mother of the harlot. All right, to keep on going, it said, I'm reading again, the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th. All right, and goes into perdition. They're going to be destroyed. All right, the NATO, the EU, America, all that can be destroyed. That's why it's their perdition. And the 10 horns without stars are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings, one out with the beast. All right, and that's what we got now with this whole NATO, the EU. All right, we have America with the horde that controls the beast, that control the NATO and the EU. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. All right, and let me jump down. That's pretty much it on that. Let me go back to Revelation 13. Now, Revelation 13 is the we read the deadly wound being healed, right? Let me go back up. Yeah, I forgot to bring this out. Okay, this is Revelation 13 and 2. And the beast which I saw was likened to a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power. All right, and it's a breakdown, you know, on Revelation verse 2. I just want to run through this. I'm on my break. It said, and his feet in great authority, and I saw on one of his head that it were wounded to death. All right, the Roman Empire. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. All right, because now it came back because it's been healed. That's why everything you see at the NATO and the EU is similar of that of the Roman Empire, especially of America, mainly America. All right. So that's why I wanted to bring that out. Back to Daniel 7 and 8. It said, I considered the horn, and behold, there came up another among them, another like little horn, before whom there was 3 of the first horn plucked up by the root, And behold, in his horn were eyes like the eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things. All right, and like I said, that's talking about America, okay? And that's why we read Revelation chapter 17. I also brought out 17 and 13 in Revelation. All right, the little horn, okay? Talking about America. Now, the Roman Catholic Church is mentioned in Revelation. We're talking about the three unclean frogs. All right. This is Revelation 15 and 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. All right. You know, three unclean frogs is talking about the Roman Catholic Church. All right. So with that, I'm pretty much closing out on that. Just a quick response and correction that these guys don't know how to break down the fourth beast and the little horn. All right. And Daniel 7:8 talking about, as well as Revelation 13 going to the first beast. All right. So with that, shalom.